You've been informed that an employee has broken the rules or behaved inappropriately. What do? You might be tempted to call them in and say,
"You're fired."
While it might seem tempting, it's generally not a good idea to follow in Lord Sugar's footsteps. To deal with a situation where a rule has been broken or someone has behaved inappropriately, you should follow your company's disciplinary policy, the first stage of which will be the investigation. The investigation is a very important part of any disciplinary process. Think of the investigation stage as laying the foundations. Without solid foundations, any case you build could topple and lead to a grievance, or at worst, an employment tribunal claim. So, how do you conduct a good disciplinary investigation? Number 1, collect as much information as you can about what happened. This will enable you to see if there is a case to answer and what evidence you have to support or discount the allegations. Completing a thorough investigation can make any follow-up disciplinary action more straightforward, or even prove that there was no wrongdoing in the first place. Things that you need to consider. So, what evidence do you have to prove that there was any wrongdoing? Were there any witnesses? If there were, you'll need to speak to all of them and get a full statement of what they saw and heard. If they've broken a policy, did they sign to say that they've read and understood it? Or have they signed an induction record to say that they've had the handbook? Was there CCTV? If yes, does the footage show what happened? Have they had any training on the policy, so do they know how they're supposed to behave? Have they ever been spoken to about this type of thing before? If they have, look for evidence. So for example, is there a note on their personnel file, or any previous disciplinary action taken? During their employment with you, have they shown that they can follow these policies? If you're investigating allegations that they've not followed the expenses policy, do you have any examples to show that they followed it before? Step 2, make notes. When you're investigating, you should always keep notes of all of the investigation meetings, copies of anything that is evidence to prove or disprove the allegation, and make a note of your recommendations. Step 3, make your recommendation. Having obtained and weighed up all of the information, you need to decide if there's a case to answer or not. And if there is a case to answer, what is the next step? Retraining, feedback, or a disciplinary hearing?